Okay, well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Beaver Dam Lake Protection and Rehabilitation District Board meeting, September 17th, 2025. The plan is to be an hour or less today. We do have a guest here today from the Salisbury Mills Fire Department who will give the floor in a little while. Just a little bit of quick housekeeping to get started. Tonight's meeting is in accordance with the open meeting law of New York State. We are live on Zoom from reserve number 4, 557 Shore Drive in New Windsor for anybody who might want to come down and join us. And again, this meeting is being recorded and will be posted on the Orange County Government DPW website and through the Beaver Dam Lake YouTube account. As far as quorum goes, right now we do not have a quorum. We would normally need at least 4 of our board members here. Currently, we have 3 board members. Questionable whether our chair will be able to make it in time today, as he does have another commitment and plans to come as soon as that is over. Currently, we do have some vacancies on the board, which we will talk about, but we have Chris Dunn as the chair, who's currently not here. I'm Larry Weinberg as the vice chair. We have Jason Eunice. How you doing? As our secretary. Fabulous Fred Widman here.
Nice to be here.
And we also have Chrissy Wilger in the New Windsor seat. Currently, we have a vacancy that has not been filled in New Windsor. And we'll cover the most recent current events in there in the board happenings. So we'd like to start off with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So we do have a fairly brief agenda, and again, we'll roll through it at a high level. And we do need to get a motion to adopt tonight's agenda. Can I get a motion?
So move.
Thank you, Fred.
Second.
Second, Jason. Thank you. Okay, so we're all in favor? Aye. Okay, we're good. Okay, our last board meeting was on June 10th. We do have already met our commitments for the amount of board meetings that we technically have to have for the year, but we felt it was important since we've taken a summer hiatus, no July, no August board meeting. We're back here in September. We are off 1 week where we would normally be at the second week, the second Wednesday of the month. This is the third Wednesday. A lot of other things going with school and starting up, and a lot of people who couldn't make it. So we chose to push off to this week, and I can go through a high end of what's been brewing over the last couple of months. As always, the best way to reach the board is through email. bdlboard@gmail.com. That's bdlboard@gmail.com. So if you see a new neighbor who moves into the community, or people are asking questions about what might be happening, which does really get out there pretty often, direct them to sign up for the emails. I mean, we do use Facebook as a tool, but it's not a board related page. We do use the residence page to get to those people who maybe not regularly on their email, but official board communication comes through that source. So please, if you have new folks in the neighborhood, encourage them to sign up so they can get all the most relevant information that we have to offer. A little bit of quick housekeeping. Board member Kevin Boyle has resigned. Dr. Boyle has offered to continue piloting his fantastic pontoon boat for Sea-Slap. We have 1 remaining sampling coming up in about a week or so for 2025.
This Sunday.
This Sunday, and Sea-Slap Citizens State Lake Assessment Program. Fred, Molly, and Jason do a fantastic job, and Dr. Boyle has been the captain for quite some time, lending his services and taking us out in the boat, and that is a great program. Thank you to Dr. Boyle for the 12 years of service that he had on the board. He is the Blooming Grove seat representative, and that means that we will send out an official email to announce Dr. Boyle's departure. And we also plan to advertise the need for new board members. Every December, we do have a meeting. Board terms are either from 2 to 3 years, depending upon where you're physically sitting in household. So we have 3 seats in New Windsor, 2 in Cornwall, 1 in Blooming Grove, and
That's pretty much it.
yes, all right. So yeah, so we have 7 seats, and currently we actually have 2 openings. So we're gonna get the word out there, and hopefully we can get some people involved in participating and being part of what the board does. It's a volunteer board, but it's very essential that we get folks inoculated, injected into the system here, because we need your support. And there's 800 plus homes in the community. And the more people who are involved, the better for everybody. Okay, so as safety today, so we're just want to always urge to you that if there's ever any emergencies, you really want to dial 911, not the police, okay? And today we have a special guest here. A special guest is Nick from the Salisbury Mills Fire Department. He's going to go over some things, some current events and stuff that's going on. Of course, that is a great, great resource that we have here. They're always out and about in the community. They do much more than just come and put out a fire. Certainly, they've spent a lot of time and invested in coming around and helping celebrate all kinds of things throughout the community, which is so much appreciated. And again, they're volunteer. It's your local fire force, and we really appreciate them. So Nick will cover some stuff that he's got based upon they're looking with some great current events coming up. And of course, maybe a little bit of talking about recruitment. So I'll turn it over to Nick.
Thank you, guys. I'm Nick, I'm with the Salisbury Mills Fire Department. So coming on October, Saturday the 4th, we have our open house. It's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. There will be fire department trucks outside for kids to come see. The local ambulance company will be there. Local police department will be there as well. They just come out, say hi, meet us. I think there's some other things going on there.
What time are they doing that?
It's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
11 to 2 at the Salisbury Mills Firehouse. That's going to be the open house.
Yeah. If the weather permits, as it says here, there also could be a helicopter demonstration from LifeNet, the medical helicopter service. And then the only other thing I have is the annual Salisbury Mills Fire Company Haunted House. That's Friday, October 17th through Sunday, October 19th. It starts at 7 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. and kids' hours are on Saturday, October 18th, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. If you guys have any other questions, you guys can always go online to the Facebook page we have. This stuff is posted on there in case you don't have this or have access to seeing this. It's on there. Also, I was told to let you guys know the board will send out the flyer for the open house as well. Well, that is all I have on my end.
So you guys are a volunteer force, and my understanding is I've seen a lot of signs throughout the community that you are looking to bring new members in.
Always.
Yeah, so we do encourage you to get involved. Certainly a great organization that does incredible work for us in the community. We see them just all throughout doing all kinds of drills. Do you have any drills that you know planned? Anything coming up and date wise?
So at the open house, there is a chance we do a live demonstration of us doing an extrication, which is us cutting a car in case of like an accident, getting drilling on that. That just if the weather permits for that.
Yeah, we do get a good opportunity to witness you guys going out in your boat and doing the life-saving drills. And people are very quick to get in touch with us.
I enjoy watching the ice rescue drills.
Yeah.
That you do out there. And I wouldn't want to be part of it, but I'll tell you, it seems like it's very well planned, very well organized. And I must say, it's quite a service to the community to know that something like that exists, because a couple of years, 2, 3 years ago, we had an incident on the lake where you guys had to respond to some people that went into the lake during the winter.
Yeah, so we don't test for ice thickness out here.
No.
And people sometimes get a little excited when the lake is frozen. They go out there and there could be a bad accident. But just so you know, the Salisbury Mill Fire Department, they practice on a regular basis just to those specific specialized life-saving techniques, and we really appreciate that. We also we do get the calls whenever your boat goes out because people hear the motor and they're all concerned about whether or not anybody was breaking the rules, and we're quick to let them know that.
Even the notifications go out.
Yeah, that we let them know that that you guys are out there doing great work, so.
If people ever wanna like look into joining, you can go to the website, I believe there's a link in there, you guys can fill out an online. Send it in, it's just so we know who you are, we can reach out to you, get you all started in the process of getting applied and
Sure.
joining up.
What's the website?
Most, but I don't know off the top of my
Okay.
head.
All right, so for those people who might be interested in participating or joining up with the Salisbury Mills Fire Department, please research their website. I don't have it here in front of me.
It's just SalisburyMillsFire.com.
SalisburyMillsFire.com. They'd love to hear from you, and the more that you participate and the more people we have involved, and the faster our response goes, and we can save lives like that. So thank you so much, Nick, for coming in. We much appreciate you
No
and
problem.
all the work that you do. And we're gonna send out the email with the information to the rest of the Beaver Dam Lake email board.
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
Have a good evening.
all right, thank you.
Have a good night.
You too. Okay, with that said, we did request some increased police patrols this summer, 4th of July and Labor Day. And the police chiefs did reach out, and they were told that we're not looking for them to go out and give warnings, that we are looking for people who are on the reserves without proper documentation and the permits. We're looking for them to be ticketed. We are still we have plenty of people who need these permits. We've made it really, really convenient for you. Fred, Molly, Diane, and I have held numerous in-person meetings so that you don't have to go through the arduous task of filling out the paperwork, mailing it in, self-addressed stamp envelope, and it was immediate. People would come, and we had between 30 to 50 people show up for the majority of the events, which is fantastic. But there are a lot of people who don't have the stickers, and we really, really would love for everybody to be as compliant as possible. You know, we do pay additional monies on our property taxes to live here as a residence. And hey, well, let's keep it private like it's supposed to be. Residents can bring their escorted guests, but the word is escorted guests, means that you can't just send a group of 10 people down here and say, hey, let them know that I live over on Alder and that you're my friends. And you have to come and be present. And that is, those are the rules. Okay. Dam update. As you may or may not know, the dam, when it was rebuilt, was a giant project, but unfortunately, the lower level, one of the bigger output pipes, it's a 24-inch pipe. It was found to have a crack in it that unfortunately did not get replaced. So every single year, we are required to have a company come out with a little robot, and they go in and they lower the level of the lake and the dam and everything so that they can put this little robot with a camera in there to monitor that leak. There is a big solution. Oh, Diane had asked a question or no? I don't know if I'm-
She asked about activities.
Oh, okay. We'll get to the activities in a minute, Diane, so I appreciate you asking. So as far as the flow rate goes, it's a big task that the company comes out, and then we do ask a board member to go and respond and be there and be present so that we can get the most relevant information. We don't have the official report in our hands yet, but information shared with us states that there's not been an increase from what we can tell from the flow of that lower level output. The solutions out there They vary if things get worse, but we're hopeful that we'll have a good long time before we have to address any of that. Anything to add? Good at that?
Everything's fine. It's just, and your mention about the police activity. I have noticed an increase in Cornwalls coming onto Reserve 2. Unfortunately, every time they come out, there's nobody there.
Mm.
But there was a person last time who was there and obviously he got chased. So whether they were ticketed or not, I don't know. But so there is some action being done, at least in the Cornwall on Reserve 2.
Okay, that's good news, good news. I mean, we're not looking to harass people, we're
No.
just looking to have people follow these basic rules. If you don't live here, you're not really supposed to be on these reserves.
That's right.
So it's just simple, and it's not like we're looking to cause any trouble. Thanks, Fred. So let's cover the swim beach season for 2025. Oh, did you want to show that?
Yeah, just show the,
Okay. So Jason's gonna bring up a video here of the yeah, so um I believe that's about 40 to 50 feet into the pipe from the last time that I went. I had gone and be part of that. I believe it's about 40 feet into the pipe, and from that picture and looking at it, it does not look like it has increased from the last year. We do have a gigantic turtle who lives in the in the well down there. We're all hopeful that maybe we'd be able to get him out, but no such luck at this point. Okay, so Jason, thanks for pulling up that video. So it just gives a good representation so people can see what we're actually talking about. Swim beach season, let's just give you another fantastic beach season here at Beaver Dam Lake. Reserve number 4, 557 Shore Drive. Thank you to our lifeguards. Our senior lifeguard, Tiffany. We had Logan, Lukissa, Kayla, and Nolan. They all did a fantastic job. These young folks, the amount of responsibility and the amount of professionalism that they show, it is amazing. And I'm so pleased that they all came back from last year. And we are hopeful that we'd be lucky enough to have them come back again this year. We didn't lose one single minute of beach time because somebody called in sick.
Yeah.
So always showed up and always kept the beach nice and tidy and even did their shift rotations. I can't say enough about these young folks. So thank you very, very much. And again, parents of those folks, if you ever happen to see this video, you did a great job. The kids are really, really awesome. We believe 1,623 total bathers have come for the season. That is an average of 26 people per day. We did have 2 separate algal blooms, one on July 1st that closed the beach at 1 p.m. The bloom cleared within 12 hours. The Department of Health came and they took their water tests and returned with a negative results. And once that comes back, then we're able to reopen. Unfortunately, it does take some time to get the samples taken, get them out to the lab and get the results. So as a board, we err on the side of caution. If we believe it is going to be a danger or somebody could get sick, we always err on the side of closing the beach down and waiting for the permission to reopen versus taking the risk and having somebody get sick. Again, if you want to go to your house, you want to jump in the lake, that's your own business. We're not going to be responsible for that. But here at the beach, while we have our permits and the Department of Health comes and does inspection, there's a lot at risk, and we do not take any chances when it comes to that. On August 9th, there was a trace amount of questionable item floating around in material, and we closed the beach just at 5 p.m. The Department of Health responded and stated that it was most likely not a harmful algae bloom. Yet, once again, we did follow our protocols to be sure that safety remained first. Note, an algicide treatment had already been applied to the lake just 4 days earlier, and the clear film witness was thought to be the dead floating residue, not a cyanobacteria containing algae as suggested by the Department of Orange County Department of Health Sanitarian. who reported on the scene. The test results came back as negative and we were able to reopen. So in June of 2025, we also had 10 cubic yards of sand added to the beach to top off an initial restoration and expansion of the beach in fall of 2024. We added a foot wash and a shower station installed to the delight of many residents in mid-July, helping you to avoid getting your feet all full of sand in your car and your carpets getting a big mess. So a lot of people expressed some thank you for that. Split rail fencing replaced old plastic fencing at the beachfront. Thank you so much to Chris for all of his physical hard work, using his equipment and time and expertise to do that. It did not cost us, but the materials, which were bought at a very reasonable price. And Chris volunteered his time and did a fantastic job. If you haven't been down to the beach and seen how good it looks, man, just pop your head down here and check it out. We also added a nice clock, which I don't have listed over here. The clock was for people who were in the water wondering what time it was, whether they had to get home for an appointment or start to prepare dinner. We also changed our handicap parking space to a proper ADA compliant sizing. So that now if somebody comes down with a handicap van or needs accessibility, now we have a proper size spot for you to park in closest to the building. New umbrellas were added for our fantastic lifeguards to keep them from getting scorched in the sun. We replaced broken down swim mats, and everybody loves the swim mats out there. New ropes were put out on the beach and new swim area buoys. Boy, oh boy, a lot of work done and a lot of volunteer hours went into it, but super successful. And I can't tell you the last time that I've seen this place looking so good out there. I mean, it is just fantastic. We weren't able to enjoy the beach this year for a multitude of reasons, but it was not due to a lack of desire. We just had a couple of other things really poking at us and we were not able to get here. But I got great feedback from so many people. So thank you to the rest of the board and everybody who did a great job with that heavy lift. Again, we do budget for that every year. Originally, we had tried to get a company to manage the lifeguards and the beach management, but there's not a lot of companies out there. And with the current lifeguards and the situation that we have set up, it went very, very smoothly this year. So we are very, very thankful. Okay, anything to add on that for you guys?
No.
Good. Okay. Reserve properties, reserves and Orange County property use. Non-residents are not permitted, so please report trespassers or any vandalism to the appropriate police department. Again, emergencies go to 911, but vandalism, if you see some suspect activity or you believe something isn't right, call your local police department. So we have the Cornwall Police Department at 534-8100. We have the New Windsor Police Department, 565-7000. You would call them up and you would let them know what you think is going on. They'll send out an officer and be sure to take care of things. Again, all emergencies, please call 911. Use common sense to determine what an emergency might be. Don't jump the gun. Obviously, you know the old story about the wolf and Peter crying wolf, and then when the wolf actually came, nobody believed him. So we'd like to avoid being alarmists. If we don't have to get the 911 folks involved, let's keep it simple. All guests must be accompanied by a resident, which I talked about earlier. That is an escorted guest. So attempting to transfer a registration ticket or your permit from one vehicle to the next will potentially lose your permit and you will not have the ability to park on the reserves without risking getting ticketed or summons. So boating and parking privileges violators could be issued a summons and they'll have a fine to pay. Again, it's not like the money is coming to the board. We don't want you to get fined. That's why Fred, Molly, Diane, and I did all of these extra in-person permit events. right on the outside of the building here at 557 Shore Drive, we have a waterproof bin with the permits out there. You can come pick one up, complete it, follow the directions precisely. Reach out to the board if you have any questions. And if you don't want to do that, go to the Orange County website, the Beaver Dam Lake website, and we do have a link on all of our emails, a hot link, a blue right at the bottom, which will bring you to the permit, print it up and you process. Fred Widman has done a fantastic job with this for years and years and continues to do so. So thank you, Fred, for all your time and effort in doing that. Why do we do it? Not only, for the trespassing and to keep it, but there are times when we actually have to identify either a vessel that's lost or something happens where we have to go backtrack into the permit program, and Fred looks things up, goes into the files, and he can, get in touch with some of the folks. Right?
Yeah, it's got to talk to Jason to see if accessibility to those files, but thank you.
Yeah, so again, it's all on a volunteer basis. We do not charge any money for the permit. If you do lose your hanging tag, the Orange County is requiring a $25 fee for your new hanging tag. Of course, we will give you a sticker at no charge, but hopefully people are being very diligent about not losing those window, the mirror hangers. That was a great addition. A lot of people were not wanting to put a permit on their car. They said, oh, my car's a sports car. I don't want to put a sticker on it, or I don't want people to know where I live. So Chris came up with a great solution. We got these beautiful, beautiful hangers. You put them right on your window and on your mirror, your rear view mirror, and it's specific to the car with your license plate. Very, very simple. When you're done, take it down, put it in the glove compartment, and you're 100% set. I know everybody says it all the time, and we'll remind you, gas-powered motors are not permitted except for emergency services, fire or police, which we had the Salisbury Mills Fire Department here, and we were just talking about how they exercise and do practice out here with their boats. Anglers, fishermen, all right, if you are 16 or older, you must possess a New York State fishing license. I am not a fisherman, so I can't tell you where to go and get it.
There's a link in our email signature.
Okay, so Jason has provided a hot link on our email on how to go about getting the proper permit. Look, I have heard that it's a $300 fine if you get caught fishing without a permit.
DEC was here yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Oh, were they? Oh, you said,
Yeah, wow. So do yourself a favor. Look, I know there's great fish out there and people are really loving it. And we love to see the activity out there. Trust me, that's why we're here, to protect this lake and keep it pristine and keep everything in a really great community-based way of life. So we love to see people enjoying the lake. Just
And
follow the rules.
one other thing is a reminder that anything caught in this lake is considered catch and release. Nothing should be brought home and eaten that's in the lake.
You do not want to eat what's in the lake.
Yeah, so former chair Walter Blos did a great job in restocking the lake with us. We all went through the process together, and things just are fantastic out there from what I understand. And
There's some huge bass being caught out.
I'm seeing things just jumping out of the
Yeah.
sky. Man, just a big, I hear great things. So please, be respectful of the properties. If you're gonna fish, please don't leave line or hooks and all kinds of garbage around. We do have our new maintenance man, Rick. He's doing a great job keeping things together, hitting all the reserves. Everything is really coming together. So please pack it in, pack it out, right? So don't bring garbage and leave it there. I understand if you see something and it's not yours, do a community service, pick it up and put it in the trash, right? One of us is walking by, we see the garbage pail would blown over, or in the past, it was overflowing when we didn't have a maintenance man. We didn't send an email to anybody. We just went out there and took the trash out and brought it over to my house and put it in the garbage pail, and that was it. So take ownership, because we really need that, and we much do appreciate when residents are I'm mindful like that, right? Okay. As a reminder, all reserves are closed for use 1 hour after sunset, okay? And all reserves are open for use 1 hour before sunrise. So you have a good amount of time to get out there and enjoy these fantastic reserves. We do have a number of great spots. Reserve number 4 being one of our most popular, and reserve number 8 being on Lake Road, which is our boat launch. So much room out there to go out there and have a great time. Bring the kids out there, have a kickball game, whatever you want to do, that's fine. Just be a resident and have your guests, with you at the time. Okay. 2025 improvements. Jason, did you want to just mention this?
Sure, we planned on having some trees planted soon, and I have a meeting with, the nursery tomorrow to discuss the suggestions on what we should plant. We're looking into some kind of conifers, something all greens, because we don't want more leaves in the beach area.
Ah, that's great. So do we have an idea about where we want to place those trees yet?
Could be along the driveway.
Okay, so like in the entrance, coming like
Mhm.
just on each side?
Yeah, well, not on each side, along the far end.
Okay.
Gives, so we can get, have some privacy, maybe
Nice.
even something that we eventually provide shade for picnic benches.
Oh, that would be great. I know, I don't think that we have it listed here, but I know in the future we are looking at revising the fences as well. So that'll be another nice addition that we continue to add value to the community and continue to add value to these reserves, which are really, really such a big bonus in being here in this community.
Yeah.
So, on the trees, are we looking at buying like mid-size or semi-mature trees?
But it probably depends on what the price is. I think slightly on the mature end, but I think we have enough to budget it, depending on what we need to be fulfilled.
Okay.
Like some things we could probably get away with getting younger, something that we want to have like shade for
Sure.
could be a little old.
Will we need a volunteer event to plant those trees, you think, or?
I don't know, maybe somebody with a bucket loader
Okay.
would make it
All
pretty.
right.
I know somebody.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if there were gonna be maybe some kind of a planting time.
Yeah,
At all.
digress from the trees for trips that I had mentioned out to people earlier. We're low, would be lower on the totem pole to be selected because our reserves are so small and
Mm.
spread out.
Mhm.
They're looking for more large areas for planting.
Right, I remember that program that we saw at Nice Fola, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so that would have been really great, but we can do little things here to make a big impact, so thank you for that, Jason, I appreciate you following up and getting the appointment, I know you're very busy. More boat racks are also planning on being built. As these become available, boats will no longer be allowed to be stored on the ground at reserve number 3. So reserve number 3 is the long, thin reserve that's across from Walnut and on shore. So Walnut and shore, and then you have a long property with a good angle, and then there's a bunch of boats that are currently stored on the ground. So when we have the ability to get those off the ground, we're gonna have these racks built up, and then it'll make it so much easier for the landscaping company to keep them neat and tidy, no more animals burrowing under the boats, because I do remember that when we were doing our first round of boat assessments, one of the boats had not been moved in so long that the entire bottom underneath, the entire thing was encased with dirt from the groundhogs that had filled it up. And when you picked up the boat, it was a shell of dirt, the whole thing from the groundhog being under there. So, again, I don't know that we have it on the list here, but as the fall approaches now. Batteries low. As the fall approaches, start to think about your plans. If you do have a boat stored on a reserve,
Plug it in.
the goal is to have people come and pick up their boats and not leave them on the reserve all winter, okay? Then you can bring them back after the springtime comes and you want to get back out there, so.
That is to help with cleanup and for these improvement projects, like adding more racks.
Yes,
We
exactly.
can't add more racks if all.
Boats everywhere, right? With boats everywhere, we can't do the work. Like I can't cook my dinner when the dishes are all in the sink. I just don't operate like that.
Maybe that can change once we have established racks. But
That would be great. So you can't do the cleanup work if the mess is there first. So we are encouraging you all to put a plan together to come and get your boats if you're not gonna be using them. And when the winter time comes, I like that message, unstable internet. So again, put your plans together to get that taken care of. Official board communication, as we talked about earlier, bdlboard@gmail.com. Please encourage everybody to join the email list. We do appreciate having you on board. DPW communications, the Department of Public Work contracts to be posted by Orange County, a request for proposal forthcoming. Current contract holder Stall Holding is Pond and Lake Connection. And we also have the landscaping company, Anthony Magnano, with property maintenance. So we have their request for proposals out there. These guys are doing a great job for us. And we would love to see them put the good bids in and continue with their services. Our chair, Chris, has made it from his fantastic public events. with his-
Prior engagement.
With his son, but we'll keep the ball rolling along.
Yeah, I'll jump in.
All right, so currently we're on page 4 on the lake health treatments. We just finished up number 6, DPW communications, so page 4.
Got it.
All right, so otherwise, we did have Nick from the fire department come here, do a very brief presentation about some good community events they have coming
Okay.
up. We'll send out the email with the flyers and stuff, so other people will be able, who don't see this, will be able to get that information and participate in the Salisbury Mills Fire Department. So I'm gonna turn it over to Chris for a bit, even though I'll be back for community events.
Alrighty, so you said, all right, DPW communications, so the two major parts that we've discussed, and I don't know, and I'm not gonna backtrack any at all, cause I was not here. Through the summer, we kinda, it was a lighter summer, but the two major things that were discussed is that there's an RFP coming up for the landscaping contract and another one for treatment. And that's something that the county takes care of. The only thing that they communicated with us was, did we want to change anything, put anything different in the language? Because the board does have a say in sort of who you want to go with. Obviously, if we're happy with a vendor, why would we want to lose them? But the way the contract RFPs are written up, it has to ask for a bunch of different terms. And if the vendor meets them, then they're eligible to put a bid in. We don't know how many companies will bid for either of these contracts. So just to say that, so the lake treatment applicator, which will be forthcoming for 2026 and beyond. I think the last time it was a 2-year contract with a 2-year extension period. I don't know if that's what it's going to be, but Stall Holdings and the Pond and Lake Connection, as we've mentioned, like pretty much every single meeting that I've been on the board, and I'm sure you guys, and since James has been doing it, he's the guy in the fan boat that drives around and puts the algicide and herbicide into the lake. And then the other one for Magnano, right, which you just mentioned when I was coming in, right?
Yeah, I believe that from what I've seen, they're doing quality work and a good job, very receptive to board needs. Helped out in extra ways, leaving us a dump trailer when we needed it and helping out with certain things, which was definitely beneficial. And I think that they've been trying to work together with the board to get the resolution on using the property to get across the dam without us having to build a moat or any other kind of crazy stuff, right?
Yes, and one thing I could say that that Andrew's company and the property owners have worked something out. Is
That's
it
great.
permanent? Is it in writing? Let's don't know. I believe it's a handshake.
Right.
But
All that matters is that the job gets done
Yeah, from what I understand, as long as we fulfill our 4 cuts per year on the minimum 4 cuts per year on the sides of the dam, then we don't violate anything in the state and the regulations for the dam.
I think so.
So, and I know that the county just really wants that. So he's been patient. I know he tried doing a few things. We were lowering the lake overnight for like a few inches just to dry the spillway out, which was a bit dare I say, a little risky. I wouldn't have done it if I was the person with a mower or a weed whacker trying to cross slick algae, slimy rocks. But so yeah, he did it once, fell, did fall, and then I believe he's been working a way to gain access to the old way through the property owner.
Great.
So I think I stepped in at a good time because I just wanted to get like a board discussion for the pros and cons, because right now it's September, was it 17th? It's the 17th. We have 13 more days pretty much to put a herbicide treatment in the lake. Now, in the past, we had not done any herbicide or anything beyond, I think it's a praying mantis. We have our 5th board member just showed up, a praying mantis in the corner. The suckers are
I
huge.
didn't see it.
I heard
yeah,
it. I didn't see it, but I
looked-
heard
It
it.
looked like a green bat. So we haven't done it. Now, I wanted to kind of discuss, and I think if the board thinks this makes sense, I was gonna put an email out about it just to describe, because I don't think it's a known option for the community to treat past Labor Day. Anybody that's up on treatments, as I believe, you can't treat after Labor Day. That's just algicide.
Oh,
Herbicide.
that's just algae.
Yeah, so the
Okay.
algicide is done at Labor Day, but you have until the end of September for herbicide.
Okay,
Now, being one of the people that fielded, not a lot, two emails about lake weeds and being caught in the props of the boats. Cause once if it warms up through October, the plants are gonna continue to grow as long as we're above 60 degrees or so in the water temperature, we're gonna continue to gain plants. So an $8,950 bullet.
well, we are budgeted for
to-
that, correctly?
Yes,
Okay.
but it's kind of what are the pros?
Well-
It's not for swimming, it's for boating.
Remember, it's not just for boating, but by eliminating any growth now, it's going to, I'm hoping, works its way down to the roots so that it does not, the particular plants that are hit by the herbicide now will not reproduce next spring.
Well, Jason, you have anything to add with that?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I think, I know when they release their seeds and whatnot, but I would rather have
Yeah.
AJ's expert opinion to weigh in on it. What is
Yeah.
there any advantage to, would we get a head start on next year? Or is it beneficial to have the plants in the lake as it is now and producing oxygen and sustaining the rest of the life that's in the lake?
I see your point. Yeah, cause so I was checking right now just to see if possibly AJ did get back to me, cause I asked him 3 days ago. And I know that James had said that, yeah, all the plants, cause you mentioned seeds, yes, all the seeds are produced, all the seeds that would have been sent out are sent out. There's not gonna be anything additional. So he was indifferent, because he even said, he's like, I make money off when you guys order. I'm not saying that we should do this. It's still part of the total equation, whether it's alive or dead, it's just gonna go back into the bottom of the lake, right?
Mhm.
But,
Still gonna, it's
to
still
Fred's
gonna lose
point,
energy.
right, could it, I guess the question would be like, there's some invasive species that are not so much of a problem, they're just a nuisance, kind of like the purple blue
Well,
stripe.
if I remember right,
Or
the
the lilies.
herbicide that we use is somewhat specific. Didn't James mention that it's mostly for the milfoils and things like that, that are the invasive ones? That they don't hit everything? They don't affect everything that grows?
Yeah, yeah, I'm not certain. I'm not
Okay.
certain. I know we had them, yeah, I'm not certain. I know that we had them to target the cattails and the bullweed and the things like that when we were.
That was its own treatment, yeah.
Was
Yeah.
it separate? Was there a
That
different?
was separate.
That
Was it a
separate
different
treatment.
It was a
herbicide?
different herbicide.
Okay,
It was.
all right. That's something I have to go back and look at. So, all right, just to speed this up, so can we maybe jot down some basic questions? I should have something. Just to ask, because like I said, we have 13 days to do it. Thank you. So just,
Farmer's Almanac says we should be getting cold, oh, I wouldn't hold my breath if October is gonna be any warm.
so I'm just gonna be like, so treatment formula, possibilities.
Never did believe in the farmers only.
Target,
Fairly accurate, on a wide scale.
on a general sense, yeah, I mean,
Wide
the patterns are.
I followed him since I was a kid.
I used to buy them. I used to buy them all the time and bother my mom to get them in the grocery store. Yeah, I did. And by the way, just for historical purposes, the last and only herbicide treatment that we had this year was on the May 9th. It was on April, May, sorry, June 9th. June 9th, because if you remember, we started late and we did that as a widespread, knock everything down, double bullet with the algicide, and then we came back and had algicide again 2 weeks later, and it really seemed to work. It took a couple weeks, but that's when we got through June into July. The water started clearing out with the physical matter. But as you could see, there's a lot, especially, and of course, like I paddled 10 days ago in the north, and I mean, the duckweed is like, and the duckweed's usually not a problem, but it is thick and it is tied into every bit of type of grass that's growing, a little bit of milfoil. There's some milfoil along the eastern side here. There's some milfoil along the eastern side of the northern part of the lake. But we have some friends coming in here. So anyway, so we're gonna open this up to any comments at home. I don't see a huge, does anybody have at home? Because and if you're, let's say if you had a boat, if you're shorefront, do you see the value in spending $9,000 for a treatment that would make the water column clear plants for, we'll say, a month as it gets colder? Or is it something we should save? So
Philip said yes.
yes, as in treat. Yes, as in treat. You can come on, Mike, and this is kind of an unorthodox meeting. And by the way, we actually
Yes.
now have a quorum. So Sarah, you say treat?
Hi, you guys. It's Kevin and Sarah. Yes, please treat if you can.
Yeah.
The growth is actually has gotten very boggy.
Oh, yeah.
Boggy side over here.
No doubt. I mean, anywhere around the islands, it's getting pretty bad. Anywhere on the northern and eastern sections where you get more sun coming in, yeah, it's definitely. But it's just that matter of, do we want to do it for boating for the remainder of the boating season? So, I think what I'll do.
I agree with Fred with the idea that knock it out now so we get a better start in the spring.
That could be. And the extended drawdown that we had last year definitely worked. I mean, if you remember how much was not present at the beginning, but we started so late. It was clear in April, it was clear into May, and then the plan started. But we're not planning on having any type of a drawdown like last year. That was a problem because of the cold temperatures. The idea of a drawdown should be, only about 10 days to 2 weeks. So I think so. Spread it to the community, kind of throw it back, see if we get anything, or,
You wanted to get AJ's.
I think AJ.
I mean, regardless, yeah, we should still wait, right? We agree that we should wait for AJ's take.
Yeah, hopefully in a timely manner. So
Yeah,
we've
because
got-
he's got nothing to lose or gain
Mhm.
by suggesting.
Right, and James is already saying kind of like, nah, let it ride, because
He's the one that would make the money.
well, and here's the other thing. when the more plants grow, they compete for the same food that the algae is
Well-
competing for.
That's something that both Nice Fola has taught us,
Yeah.
as well as Arlene. When I spoke with her yesterday, and I think Jason did also,
Mhm.
that when you have the nutrients, the first place the nutrient goes is to plants. And if the plants aren't there, it's gonna be used up with forming algae. So.
We
it's-
can't treat algae.
And we
Not
could with
anymore.
algae, so we can't treat algae now,
Right.
but we can treat the plants.
So like if that question was asked, and to be honest, anybody that's watching this video later on or watching this now, we would wish that the community would want to be engaged and understand this element, because occasionally you'll get everything's growing poor, like why aren't we treating right now? And it's like, because there's a method to it. And if we go ahead and just throw all the algicide we can in and all the herbicide we can in, they're just gonna fight to come back. So there's a reason for having some plants in the lake, because if we were to try to eradicate theoretically all the plants at once,
It's all gonna be out
algae would come back
with a vengeance.
with a vengeance, an absolute vengeance. So forget the beach. Anybody that values the beach, forget it. You want to talk about possibility of HABs? It would increase the possibility of HABs some number that I can't say. I don't know. I just know exponentially, right? Oh yeah, it is a mantis. Yeah, we got a mantis on. Sure, wonder if the owl will pick them up. So, so anyway, so we will, so I think maybe do a little information out to the community, and then also wait for AJ and maybe James to weigh in
Quick
again.
number crunch, I mean, how many days of boating do we have effectively left? If it's rough estimate, 30 days,
Yeah, to Halloween at best, at most.
that's
Yeah.
$300 a day of effective cost.
It's not
Usable
just for
cost.
the boating though.
Yeah,
Which is why I want to hear from AJ's
Yeah.
opinion. If we have any advantage
Yeah.
to get ahead of it, my answer would be yes.
got
If
it,
there's no advantage,
got it.
then my answer would be no. I don't
You're
believe that the
professional.
cost,
I
I don't think it's cost effective
I like
for
Jason's.
the amount of people that are gonna be out there versus the cost per day.
Diane Matskas says wait until spring. So
Thank
we'll
you.
get the professional opinion.
Yeah, but I like Jason's
Yeah.
rationale on it. It's like if then, if this, then that,
Right.
you know, so, but thank you, Diane, thank you, Sarah and Kevin. All right, anything about C-SLAP? I kind of left in here, what did I do? I said that, yeah, this is kind of just a revisit. I left some of the notes from the last meeting in here just to keep it sharp, but you already talked, so go ahead, C-SLAPers, anything?
Well, I think that one was me, was it to refresh from my comment from the May meeting that C-SLAP didn't have our 2024 data displayed on their website.
Okay.
But their websites are going through a new format. And when I speak to Aileen Onion from C-SLAP, she said that the way you find it is from the table indexes, which is what I have linked in on the county website anyways.
So this link that we're looking at on the agenda, what is that, is that the link?
I think that might,
C-SLAP?
I don't remember where that link went to,
Okay,
but the link that is on the county website has all the C-SLAP information, and I found old C-SLAP data on the Nice Fola website going back to 2009.
Yeah, that goes way back.
that's good, that's good.
So I don't know if there's anything else that exists before that. But we have a good amount of C-SLAP data now.
I've been involved with it probably since around 2016,
16, yeah.
15 or 16, so before that, that's all Larry.
Do we need to speak to Mr. Rossini?
I don't know, depending
Would it help?
what.
Oh, depending what we have or don't.
When the C-SLAP started,
No, because I know you wanted to have a complete record,
yeah,
right?
or at least we have from 2009
Yeah.
to 2024.
And I know AJ saw good value in that too, having a consistent record to be able to
Mhm.
look at trends.
In fact, that's one of the reasons why we do 8 samplings instead of 4.
Right,
Even though Arlene mentioned it, statistically, they found that 4 samplings gives them as much of a trend as 8. But I think to give AJ more information regarding the history and the occurrences in the lake. I think more data is better.
And if you have any weird outliers, if a hurricane comes through, your data is gonna be completely off.
You'll do the sampling.
I mean, you don't have to do it during the sampling, but if you go like the next day, your data is gonna be way off from where it would be
Yeah.
consistently
Sure,
off.
yeah.
And if you get an extra sampling in it, you can be able to isolate that specific thing.
No, especially since we are affected by inflow by the tributaries, that if we do get periods of heavy rain, there's gonna be a lot more coming into the lake besides what we have there indigenously.
Mhm.
Indigenally? Indigenous.
Indigenously, I don't know.
I was a chemistry major, not an English major.
Okay, so yeah, with that, I think, if we wanna just,
Yesterday,
You go.
the DEC and C-SLAP were doing testing on the lake. We were randomly selected
oh, right.
of 80 lakes out of the 6,300 lakes in New York State
Mhm.
for ambient water quality testing. And the goal of the program is to assess the conditions of the lakes in New York State. Sampling activities typically include navigating to the deepest portion of the water body, collecting surface water samples and physical measurements, water clarity, pH, temperature, dissolved oxygen, deep water sampling, and will also be collected if the lake is thermally stratified. Generally, if those lakes are more than 5 meters deep, or water samples will be analyzed primarily for water quality indicators related to eutrophication, nutrients and algae. Their testing will be added to the 2025 C-SLAP reports.
Right.
And that information should be available next spring, May in 2026. So that's 3 additional
Yeah.
testing information for us.
When we first got the email that they wanted to do that, it was actually not as detailed as to what they were doing it for. It was kind of made it sound like we were coming for 5 minutes, take a water sample and leave.
Yeah,
It didn't,
much more
now it
inclusive
seems.
than we thought.
And I would love to know, I would wager to say that the fact that we're on the 303D list, you know, the indemnification
Impaired.
list, impaired list for, sorry, it's been a long day.
Mm-hmm.
The impaired list for phosphorus, I would think that gave us also maybe them.
When I asked her
reason for them
about
to know.
who was selected and why, she was
Yeah.
rather vague about. the
Okay.
whole
She
thing.
said it was random.
It was pretty much
It was
random.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think the size had something to do with it too. Our 164 acres put us in a certain.
In a
category.
slot to compare to other
Yes.
lakes of similar
Yeah.
size possible. Okay. Sounds like a
Well,
presentation at C-SLAP.
Yeah, one of
Or,
the
nice
things
fall.
that they pointed out was that, we bring up a lot that about alum and other phosphate, which it's almost being, I think, approved for New York, from what I remember at what they said at Nice Fall. But Aileen had said that we really need to address our inputs
Coming in.
before we can invest into doing something like a phosphate, which traps the nutrients, because if you trap the nutrients and more come in.
See, this speaks
you just have to do
exactly,
Another treatment, and
yeah.
you're not getting anywhere.
And this speaks exactly to why it's so important. It's imperative that, and the DPW is still working with us, but trying to land the GEI, or not a G, because it's gonna go to an RFP. It's gonna be bid. It's going, because so we're gonna have a small contract to finish the budgetary money. There's only $2,500 left from that prior contract. Just so AJ can continue to consult us and continue to possibly do some type of sampling.
I think that was the refrigerator.
But at the same time, we're looking, because if you remember, we approved, but we haven't had a meeting in 10, 11 weeks. We approved $15,000 a year for 3 years as a budget if we were to get an RFP, because we needed a starting point to put it out there. So we're trying to get a 3-year contract that the commissioner or deputy commissioner had been working with and working on this summer. That was one of the only other contacts, but I just didn't have anything official to say about it all outside of the fact that they're working on it. And they have talked to GEI and AJ, because they certainly want to know what they can do, but it's not going to just go to GEI, it's going to go to bid. So we hope that it continues to be AJ and GEI, but it might not. But we're now taking that chance. So getting the nutrient budget and knowing what's coming into the lake and all, and the tributary would lend to what you were just saying. So I think that's something we'll kind of delve deeper into in another meeting, maybe one of the winter meetings when we have less to speak about and we can go deep into it. All right, before we go into community events, is there anything were there any questions like, oh, we have to ask Chris? You're all good. Nailed it?
Yeah.
Cool, nothing, all right, awesome. All right, Larry, community events, part 9.
Right. Although we have very few people on here at the moment, we'll still go through these incredible events that have happened and are planning to be undertaken. Okay, so we did hold a community swap event here at the building, organized by a few fantastic residents. People donated clothing and house goods, and we set the building up. And local community folks were allowed to come and take whatever they wanted at no charge. Leave a donation, which would be used for future events. We didn't raise a huge amount of money, but we did get some nice community interactions. And all of the items that were brought here were then donated to the Country Kids Food Pantry and Country Store. So none of those items were wasted. And we appreciate your support in that. We will hold this event again at another point, as we've learned some things from this previous event, and it will be another success.
Maybe outdoors?
I don't know. I don't think that the indoors was the issue. I don't get a ton of feedback, but we didn't have a huge amount of people come for the shop portion, but a lot of people donated. So we would like more people to come and get stuff.
Sure, absolutely.
So like, I mean, I'm sorry, I got some stuff.
Yeah, right.
There was some great stuff here. And instead of going over to Goodwill or going to another store and siphoning through it and paying $8 per shirt these days, and I was able to get like 6 really nice t-shirts and a pair of shorts, and it didn't cost me anything. All I had to do was be here and facilitate, and it was great.
Sounds like a great service to me.
Yeah.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, we held one Music by the Lake event. It went well. We didn't have a lot of people volunteer, but we did have a couple of young folks come by, and Joseph Watts came on his guitar. We had a nice time for about an hour and a half out on the beach. It was a lovely evening, and we enjoyed it very much. Followed up by Greece Beach Party. That's right, Greece is the word that you heard. So we had some challenges, but those challenges made it all the more fun. We lost the Wi-Fi, the screen blew over, and a lot of other things, but we really had a good time navigating all of that, which made the event actually even more fun than if everything went really well. So
It was windy.
yeah, Matt and
Oh.
I stood there holding each side of the screen, and Brent had his computer, and we were in the door projecting out into the parking lot.
Nice.
And the speaker was too low, so Tara B went home and got her speaker. So it all worked out and we had fun. So we'd like to maybe do something like that again. Maybe we'll get a Wi-Fi booster for the building or something that would be helpful. We do ask for donations at these events so we can hold future events, right? If we get enough donations, we can buy the equipment and not have to keep on begging and borrowing and stealing from everybody temporarily to make the events happen. Okay, so to that end, upcoming events. Many people loved our paint class last year. That was with a really nice young lady who does a business. She volunteered her time. She made some nice donations at that event, but now Miss Cecilia, who is an artist, you believe it or not, Cecilia can blow your mind with the thing. So when she did the art with the art teacher, people saw what Cecilia did on her artwork and they were all abuzz. And then people are like, can I have the picture? And Cecilia gave them the picture. So Cecilia is going to do an art class September 30th. We have already purchased the canvas. We already have the paint. We already have the easels. We already have the brushes. And Cecilia's agreed to do the class. And we are going to be on September 30th at no cost. Of course, you can donate money if you would like to choose to, and we'll use that towards future events. Ryan Dalton and his comedian friends have offered another Beaver Dam Lake Comedy Night. Again, it is free of charge. And the comedians come from all around the state to hone their skills here. It is can be a little bit adult geared. But so we don't want 6-year-olds to be brought down if that doesn't have to happen. Of course, the event is open to whoever you would like. As far as the time of the art class, I believe it is 6:30 to 7 or 7 o'clock. I don't have the art class drilled down. Hey, Rachel, thank you for tuning in. But we will provide you with all the information, and an email will be sent out to the Beaver Dam Lake community email with all of the events that I discussed right now, as well as followed up with Facebook. So the art class is something. Cecilia does the jewelry class. We usually have 20 people and everybody leaves with something that created. And it's a fun time for all. Then Beaver Dam Lake community will have the more events coming in the future, but everybody is asking about the chili cook-off. There's a few things that are really important that must happen for the chili cook-off. First of all, we have to have at least 10 cooks, okay? So I know food cost is high. I know it's a big ask, but a lot of people really get into this event. And we would love to continue. This would be our 4th year in a row. And we want to do that. And there are numerous other things that we'll need in order to make that happen. We'll need some donations for prizes, which generally isn't too hard to get. I'll also ask for a scoring captain this year. I don't want anybody who is preparing chili to be part of the scoring. It could skew the results, which we don't want to happen. We want to be sure that everybody knows that they don't have to pay to come to the event, but donations are gladly accepted. The events cost a good amount of money. Thankfully, we still have a little bit of reserve from 1 or 2 giant fundraising things that we had happen quite some time ago. And our treasurer happens to dole that out at a very limited pace. So we don't waste the funds.
One suggestion is I noticed on a couple of the events that the donation kettle is kind of hidden in a corner. Whether it be the chili cook-off or anything else, let's try to make it more prominent.
That makes sense.
So
Maybe we can
people-
make a
and
big
people
kettle.
A sign or something to let people know that it's needed
Okay.
for future events.
Drill down to the old podium.
Yeah, so we can do that. Again, we want to ensure that everybody feels welcome and recognizes that it is an option to donate.
That's why it says
Yeah,
donations.
yes, and for those who maybe really want to participate in this event, but may be challenged, please reach out directly to me and I'll see what I can do to help you to be able to participate with this event.
Cans with more milkshake.
Well.
Yeah, I said Dinty more, you never know.
Yeah,
That's still.
there, maybe there are other people who don't wanna participate, but they have the funds to. Maybe get some food for somebody, so, we want it to be all inclusive and we wanna just have some real fun with it. Otherwise, if you have a great idea, please bring it forward. I've been blessed to have Rachel Z and Millie Soto, who have just done such an incredible job, along with a few other folks, and we just have a consistent base of ladies and 1 or 2 guys who will come and participate. So thank you. We'll do our usual beautiful winter event. We'll have a tree lighting, we'll have the menorah lighting going and all of the holiday fanfare. But for now, we do have a very busy fall season ahead of us, so we much appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. And weather is a big thing, because if you remember, I think the first chili cook-off or the second, we had like 100 people because it was a beautiful day. And we lightly advertised with the sandwich board signs out in the community. Like, I can only imagine if somebody actually made a Canva flyer that's,
Yeah.
nice looking, and it was at Cumberland. Now, that's a whole thing.
Right.
We don't necessarily want to get that large. We
Right.
don't have the capacity for that. But I think it would be nice to be a little bit bigger. Never know. Maybe we could put something in the top parking lot as well. Just a thought.
Yeah.
All right, with that, let's, any resident comments? If there's anybody, we'll let you speak first. You have 3 minutes. If there's anything you need to bring up, residents.
I'm gonna guess Diane might chime in. Diane sent some information to the board about some technology that may be used in order to try to mitigate the
Right, I saw that.
blooms.
Gotcha, so.
But yeah, we need to let her say it if she's
Yeah.
gonna. So if Diane does want to speak about that, if not, anyone else?
The floor is open, folks.
Any board members have anything?
No.
I would just like to say whether or not, being I wasn't here before, the summer was, for the board, for the community, was another really great summer. I know you probably went over this while I was not in my absence, but, the preparation on a daily basis by the lifeguards, having Rick here now, Richard York, I don't know if we had a chance to mention him, our maintenance guy, we're gonna highlight him in a future meeting. I'd even like to get Rick here so everybody can just kind of see his face. But you've probably seen the gentleman out on the reserves every morning, 6 a.m. Picking up sticks, picking up debris, picking up fishing lines, picking up all kinds of stuff. Anything that shouldn't be on the ground, he's been doing it. He was really essential with, beach cleanups in the morning. Our 5 lifeguards were fantastic. They're all now veterans. The moment, we still think we'll probably get all of them back next year.
That's good.
There was a few, oh, she wanna jump in? No. But for next summer, maybe we're gonna look into trying to open more on weekends earlier. That was the goal of this year. But as we know, we started late because of, lake kind of quality and treating and such. So, and dealing with these HABs and algal blooms and things that are suspected, it's really a tough thing. Eric, I always said it's a bit of a tough lift, and to have it on your mind every day. Is the beach going to be good? Is the beach going to be good? And we get into these patterns where the water is good for several weeks because it's going to be windy and we just treated. But then you start getting in 3 weeks in and you say, when's it going to come back? When's it going to come back? And again, we had a pretty good, pretty lucky summer. The 2 times that we actually had any activity, they were very short-lived and they were gone. But if the beach were open now, things would be different because we're at that point in the summer where there's just so
Right.
much nutrients and the algicide and so we're not flushing the lake much and
Yeah, that's why we err on the side of caution, why we didn't open up this weekend. We had
So-
the plan to open this weekend.
what I'm saying
Yep.
in my final here is that we really are looking for people to help out next year. And so not only do we need board members, not only do we need people to run for election to fill spots, but we need people to step up and help plan the beach. Most of it's pretty much a recipe it's kind of already made, but without some of the people in the room right now, we wouldn't have anything. Without us right here, you wouldn't have any swim beach at all, 0. So that's just something, and you don't know what you've lost until it's gone, right? And that's sort of how I feel a little bit about it as a resident, because I watched lots of kids on my street use it this summer, and it's a great service. I mean, especially when they start getting a little older and you can send them down when they're 12, 13, 14. And we have a great set of lifeguards that really kept everything under control. And it's just, it's a nice thing, but it's sort of fragile. I think it's more fragile than the residents realize. So just because we had it this year, it doesn't mean we'll have it next year. There's a lot of things that have to happen. A lot of research, a lot of permits have to be obtained. So please, let's think about that, and we'll probably talk about that. And I would like to feature that maybe once we get in the January meeting or even December about what we're gonna do and try to get other people signed up for participation with the beach. So, because it can go away just like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's my
don't want that to happen.
long-winded closing. Any other board comments?
Yes.
Go ahead,
One
Jason.
thing to circle back to what was mentioned earlier, thank you, Chris, for all the work you put into the beach, and it looks amazing.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Thanks.
Great job.
Also, you
Real
here,
fast.
No, thanks, guys.
Unless you're gonna listen to the YouTube, that's
No.
if it's in there.
Okay, no, at some point I do go back into them, but I appreciate it, thank you. All right, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Diane, do you want
Oh, go ahead,
to
sorry.
type it into the message?
All right, Diane, thank you for your hard
Because
work.
she's having some mic issues on her, when I put the
I
mute.
see you try to unmute her and it won't allow
Yeah,
Oh, does she want to speak?
it. Yes,
Oh,
she has to unmute and it won't.
try going out and going back in, maybe?
Yeah, that's why we gotta come down to the building. We gotta come down to the building.
Good idea.
There's no one here. I think we're gonna have to start offering cookies and, I don't know.
Yeah, I changed
pizza,
different settings, if you come back in,
Cox.
the mic should be unmuted,
Post board party.
just no worries, okay.
Sorry. Diane, no, thank you. We'll, it's something to definitely look into. I actually took your email and the information in it and forwarded it to AJ, and I wanted to see what his experience was with, what was it called? It was called wave,
Yeah, she dropped it off a
wave, I
flyer.
forgot what the term was, but
Flyers at my house.
it was a way to it was a way to disrupt the growth of algal growth with waves, sonic, like an ultrasonic kind of
Ultrasonic waves.
emitter kind of thing, and it sounds very plausible. Don't know how it would apply to our lake, how many emitters you need.
To the fish.
The scale
there's
might be a little off.
Yeah, who knows? There's probably a lot to be, but that sounds very intriguing.
Yeah, we saw all your 5 emails, just so you would know.
There were 5 emails. All good.
Yes, there were.
All right, all good. That's why we're here.
Move the meeting be adjourned?
All right.
Yes, I second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, have a good night.
All right.
See you guys in October.